Hello and welcome to learning how to fill out a Scantron form. Following these steps that I'm about to show you will ensure that your test is scored accurately and will prevent avoidable mistakes. A lot of you probably don't know or haven't heard of or seen a Scantron form before, so this is exactly what it looks like here. You're going to always want to use a number 2 pencil. You never want to use a pen or any other type of marker to mark this sheet, as that will cause issues when grading the form going through the actual Scantron itself. So to start, basically just kind of an introduction of what a Scantron is used for. So really what you're going to have, and a lot of these might be online or in paper, is you're going to have your exam. So this is, I actually don't know the correct answers for this, but I, did the best of my ability. You're going to have an exam that's going to correspond to the letter on the Scantron form above. So what's going to happen is you're going to take, and again, we'll go over this later on, but so 1 would be E. So you're going to go to number 1 on your form and mark E on the form. That's just kind of what it is. It's a brief overview of what the Scantron actually does. It then will go and get processed and get graded through an actual Scantron itself, the machine, and help basically the professor or who's ever grading your exams go through at a quicker pace, especially with bigger type of exams that eventually can go on the backside. So starting off first, we want to make sure that you write your name fully and clearly in this name box. So we're just going to write John Doe as an example. Okay, so print your name nice and clearly. Next, depending on how your professor wants it, they'll advise you to, if you were to fill out the subject, test number, I would always put the date just to make sure. And I'm actually recording this on November 28th, 2025. So you'd put the full date and then whatever, period, test number. Test number is probably going to be more important for bigger exams. For this one, we can just write number 1 as an example. Again, the instructor should be able to tell you what is needed and what is not needed to fill out the form. From here, you're going to go up to your student ID part of this section, and you're going to fill it in using your numbers. So again, I'm just going to be very generic here. So basically, oops, sorry, that's really bad too. From here, what's going to happen is you're going to fill out your student ID, and then you're going to correspond it to that number on the bubble directly below. So we're going to go, 1, 2, and I'm pretty sure, you get the gist of it, so I'm not going to do them all. What you want to avoid on the entire form in itself and everything is you don't want to, here's a bad example. If you, do it too light, you want to make sure that it is fully shaded in and not outside the lines. You can go, to the best of your ability, you want it to be inside the lines and dark. Another one is just, labeling like this. That's not going to get you anywhere. It's just going to cause errors when it goes through the Scantron form itself. So that's basically, it's a super easy concept. And then say, for number 5, I fill in 6 on accident and say I do it really, really dark. Oh shoot, that should be 5, right? So if you're going to erase it, you're going to erase it fully and ensuring that, it's to the best of your ability erased enough so that it's not going to get marked on the Scantron as, an error or mistake. So that's, really all this Scantron form is. is just ensuring all of that. And I know we can kind of go through here, but say, number 1 is E, we go up to number 1 and we fill in the letter E. Again, making sure it's dark, easy to read. I do have one that's kind of an answer key here. Trying to go through, this is exactly how it should look on the answer part of things, going through and making sure that there's no stray marks, eraser marks, everything like that. So, it's a super easy concept. It's just kind of avoiding those mistakes. Always using a pencil, not a pen. Preferably, that number 2 pencil versus a mechanical. And then finally, just, try to do your best to always erase it fully if you do encounter an error when you're recording your answers or anything like that. I can kind of show you too here what also goes through the Scantron form is this. It kind of shows, I know I can't put the whole thing in there, but this is kind of how the answers come out of like who all got them right, who got them wrong, what's the correct answers, So that's what the instructor sees from that side of things. But all you ever need to worry about is just making sure that you fill in the correct number and letter to the correct corresponding number and letter on the form. And you'll be set. Thank you.